Hello, and welcome again to FlippedHarber for Physics. In this video, we're going to go over the practice problems that are found on page 41, numbering 14 to 18. Number 14 asks us to look at a figure from example 2, and they ask, what event occurred at t equals 0 seconds? So we have to look up at that figure, and you should really be doing that, looking at the figure on page 41 so that you know where I'm getting my answers from. So what happens at 0 seconds? Well, turns out that that graph was made up at a foot race. So basically the race started. Now I can do a little bit better than that if I look at some details of the graph at time 0. I know that runner A started at the origin. They started at a distance of 0 meters. Runner B started 50 meters behind the origin, 50 meters in the negative. Number 15 asks, which runner was ahead at t equals 48 seconds? Well, runner B passes runner A at 45 seconds, so we know that runner B is ahead 3 seconds later at 48 seconds. Number 16 asks, when runner A was at 0 meters, where was runner B? Well, we actually already answered that in number 14. Runner B was 50 meters behind runner A. Number 17, how far apart were runners A and B at t equals 20 seconds? Now, if we actually look at the graph, what they're asking us to find is this little vertical distance between runner A's line and runner B's line at 20 seconds. So I've put in this red line right here, and that's what they're asking for. How long is that red line? Well, looking at our scale, that it goes from about 50 to not into 100 at all, it's approximately 30 meters. Okay, moving on. Number 18 says Juanita goes for a walk. Sometime later, her friend Heather starts to walk after her. Their motions are represented by the position time graphs. Again, make sure you're looking at this position time graph so you know where I got my answers. Part A asks, how long had Juanita been walking when Heather started her walk? Part B asks, will Heather catch up to Juanita? How can you tell? Well, the answer for part A is that Juanita had been walking for 0.1 hours. Looking at the scale, I noticed that the time is in hours, and it was 0.1 hours. Now that's only 6 minutes when Heather started. Will Heather catch up to Juanita? No, Heather will never catch up. The line representing her motion is always below Juanita's. And to look at that in a little finer detail, since the line for Heather's motion has a lower slope than Juanita's line, that means that Heather is walking slower. You'll never catch up to somebody that you're walking slower than and you're behind them. Alright, so that's it for those practice problems. I hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you in class, and I'll see you online.